back with another video. It's fucking cars!
Well, somehow the month of October has come and gone as well. We really are on the home stretch now when it comes to 2025. And October was a pretty eventful month. Not only did I move into my new apartment and continue my new job, but I had a bunch of events happen as well, such as going to Halloween Horror Nights again. Actually, several Halloween events. Los Angeles goes kind of wild when it comes to Halloween. And I even ended up going to Escape Halloween on the 31st. But despite all of that, there were still plenty of games that I got to play, which is, of course, what we're going to be talking about today. Today, we're going to be talking about all of the new games I played in October 2025. As always, this isn't a ranking, these aren't reviews, I'm just sharing my thoughts, feelings, ramblings, general thoughts on these games, and I'll only be including games that I put a decent amount of time into. There were a few games that I played during some of my variety streams that I'm not going to include here, and that's simply because I just didn't put any more time into them outside of that stream. But anyway, let's get to the games. As always, if you let me know down below what games you played or played through, you'll get a little heart from me, much appreciated. Any support is truly greatly appreciated, like seriously. Thank you all so very much. I really do appreciate all of you. I know that my content has generally slowed down, but I promise you I'm going to be releasing more consistently in the future. Things are going to pick up. Lots of videos coming, I promise you. And as always, I'm going to push the community's drama-free Discord server. We just talk about games we've beaten. We're really just talking about games and they're no bullshit. It's as straight to the point as my videos. And speaking of straight to the point, it's game time. So to kick things off, I do want to say that there was some September cleanup in the month of October. Games like Silent Hill F, Sonic Racing, Cross Worlds, I didn't finish because there was just so many games coming out, but I did go back to these and made sure to give them the appropriate amount of time. But when it comes to new games that I played in October, the first new game I want to bring up is Cloverpit. Now, I tried the Cloverpit demo back in a Steam Next Fest many months ago, and I didn't really think much on it, but when it came to the 1.0 release, I was like, fuck it, I'm actually going to give this a shot, and man, this is a really good one. I actually really enjoyed this. It reminds me very much of Balatro, and it has a lot of the addicting qualities of Balatro, where it's all about getting these giant big fuck you numbers. In this though, it's on a slot machine. Let's Go Gambling, that's the name of the game. You really are just playing a slot machine pretty much the entire time, but like Balatro, there's a bunch of ways to manipulate this and make it more in your favor. Obviously, luck is always going to play a part in it, and there's always going to be a chance of random, but you can get a bunch of perks that really adjust things, and I will just say there is a hell of a lot more than meets the eye here. There's actually a ton of depth to this game, like an ocean's worth of depth. The Atlantic Ocean, to be specific, not any other one, just the Atlantic. But yeah, this one was a lot of fun. It's one of those games that you can easily just keep coming back to time after time again. It doesn't really require a bunch of energy or focus or even attention. Like, it's really chill. You're just playing a slot machine, but there is a bit of thought behind everything. And when you start manipulating the slot machine in your favor and you start getting these giant numbers, it becomes pretty satisfying and it becomes very rewarding to see your strategies play out and you just get these absolutely gargantuan payouts. Then there's actually a lot of secrets and Easter eggs thrown in here as well. You'll be on this game for quite a bit if you get hooked into it. I actually did manage to beat it in around 6 or 7 hours, but beating it, air quotes, doesn't exactly mean all that much since it's a roguelike. And I think it's a good roguelike because these runs will be vastly different from each other and there's just a lot of replayability here. The credits theme also goes absolutely into sicko mode. I suspect this is going to be a roguelike for the ages. But speaking of roguelikes for the ages, we also have Hades 2. Now this one came out in September, didn't try it at all until October, and wow, this is a really good one also. I have not put anywhere near enough time into this game to fully assess it, but it's more Hades. This is just another absolutely stellar title by Supergiant, just immediately one of the best roguelikes ever made. There's an insane amount of depth here, maybe more than the Atlantic Ocean even. We're talking like black hole levels of depth here. There's so many weapons, there's so many variants, there's so many different ways your run can go. There's just a lot here. The game looks just absolutely stunning. It has a beautiful art design. It has some amazing looking characters that are all sexy as fuck. Everybody looks so unbelievably hot. I couldn't get over it. But outside of that, the game is gorgeous. The music is immediately goated. It is just banger after banger after banger. The presentation is killer in this game. The gameplay is killer. The story's really great. I haven't finished it. Like I said, I haven't put a ton of time into this, but it is all fantastic. It has been truly an excellent game. and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see people say that this is like their game of the year or their indie game of the year, this or like Silksong, because both of those games go absolutely wild. I got no problem saying Hades 2 immediately. This game's just mad good. I want to play more of this immediately. Maybe after this video, I'm gonna go back to Hades 2. I'm thinking about it. So even though it was month of spooky and Halloween time, I'll be the first to admit that I didn't really play any horror games this month. Like the only one that I actually played more than like 30 minutes of was Little Nightmares 3, and I actually did do a full review on this game. Long story short, I thought the game was good, and I enjoyed it. A number of people seem to disagree with me about this one. Genuinely, I thought the game was enjoyable enough. Yeah, it is short. Yeah, it doesn't do anything different from the other Little Nightmares games, and the other Little Nightmares games are better, but I still found this to be decently enjoyable. I do think that the game is a bit overpriced with the content that they're offering here, maybe a 5, 6, at most 7 hour experience, and yeah, it can be played cooperatively, but it also doesn't do like anything different from the other Little Nightmares games. If they ever make another one, I'd like to see them do a drastic change, something totally different, because even as somebody who does actually like this game, this series is starting to feel a bit played out, but it was cool that I got to play this. So one game that I actually streamed more than once and played a decent amount of was Digimon Storytime Stranger. Yes, the new Digimon. I actually like the Digimon series, especially the Cyber Sleuth games. I think those are like the best Digimon games ever, so I had some hype behind this one and it did not disappoint. This game is actually pretty solid. I know Pokemon came out in October. I actually got Pokemon and then just haven't played it, still haven't tried it, but do I need to with this new Digimon? Like, this game feels like it's everything Pokemon wants to be. It's actually got a good presentation, the music slaps, it looks nice, there's actually a lot of depth to the battle system. Digivolving and de-digivolving is still incredibly fun and kind of addicting. It was really good in Cyber Sleuth, it might be even better here. Like, this is a complete monster taming, monster catching RPG that is actually worth your time. If you're somebody who has never been super big on Pokemon, or maybe you were in the past but you're not now, Digimon might be the game for you. The battle system is much more like SMT or Persona than it is Pokemon, and catching them, air quotes catching them, really making them yourself with the digital data, it's pretty rewarding. The story's really interesting. I've actually just got a whole heap of praise for this game. I do need to play more of it. I haven't played as much as I'd like, but what I've played, this is easily one of the best RPGs of 2025, like full stop. And I wouldn't be surprised if people say that this is one of their favorite games of 2025. Like, there's a whole lot of content here, there's a lot of Digimon, and it just feels like this series really grew up. It's more of the adult version of a certain monster catching series. Oh, and the game is actually kind of gargantuan. Like, you're looking at apparently well over 50 or 60 hours with this one. Yeah, there's a reason I haven't gotten super far in it. I feel like this is one I'll be on forever. I do want to try Pokemon this month, but I have a feeling it's not going to be as good as this new Digimon. Digimon 1, Pokemon 0. So one game that I had the pleasure of playing all the way through was the new Katamari, Once Upon a Katamari. Now, I love this series to pieces. I've been a lifelong die-hard fan of this series, and this new game, it did not disappoint whatsoever. This game is so good. This is one of the best Katamari games of them all. I can't believe how good this game is. I'm gonna keep things pretty brief since I gave this game its own review and then a Katamari ranking. I wanted to do an entire new ranking. This game was so good. Like, that's how much I loved it. Got no problem recommending this. Another game that I had the pleasure of playing through was the latest Painkiller title. Now, I did rank all of the Painkiller games. I gave each one of them a little review, and long story short, I actually like this new Painkiller. I know a lot of people really are not caring for it. Old fans really don't like this one since it's so different, but I actually think this is the change that the series needed, and I think it's a pretty decent first-person shooter. Yeah, it's not connected to the old games like whatsoever. It really is a reboot, reimagining of this series. Yeah, it is played in co-op, and you'll have bots join you if you're playing solo. And yeah, the story, characters, world, all of that is ass. I'm not going to deny that, but I still found the game to be pretty fun. The shooting feels nice, the movement is good, even if it is We Have Doom Eternal at home. And there's some decent level design and enemy encounters here. The weapons do actually feel really nice. These are actually throwbacks to the older Painkiller games, and this is honestly the only thing that they needed to bring back. You can upgrade these weapons, you can make them strong as fuck, and feel really good also. I think the game is a good presentation. It's actually super polished. I didn't have like any issues whatsoever. It ran incredibly well, and while it is only like 4, maybe 5 hours, it's not repetitive. It doesn't get stale, it doesn't get old, and I think there is at least a little bit of replayability here with the roguelike mode. I'm not gonna act like this is the best FPS I've played all year, but I found this one to be enjoyable. I've heard people call it poor man's Doom Eternal. Well, I'm a poor man, so maybe that's why I resonate with this one so much. Either way, I had a fun time. So another game that I played through in the month of October was Hot Wheels Let's Race Ultimate Speed. Now, if you had asked me even 2 weeks ago if I was going to play this, I'd probably tell you no, but the publisher reached out and was like, hey, would you like a code? And I said yes. And then instead of playing Ghost of Yotei or Outer Worlds 2 or Pokemon Legends Zaza, I ended up playing through this. It was only like 3.5 to 4 hours long, but I did play through this, and you know, it's pretty decent. Yes, it very much is a licensed kids game, probably made for goo goo gaga babies. Hey, sometimes I feel like a goo goo gaga baby with how many hours I'd be working, especially if you factor in all the time that I'm working on videos. I just needed something chill for a few hours, and this game provided that. It was actually developed by Bamtang Games, the people who made the Nickelodeon kart racer games, the new ones. So they do actually know a thing or two about racing games. I guess this is based off of some Netflix Hot Wheels show. You got me, I have no idea. I didn't even know Hot Wheels has a TV show, honestly. I played with Hot Wheels when I was like 4 years old, and I probably put them in my mouth and chewed on them, which explains why I'm such a stupid fucking imbecile sometimes. You got me when it comes to new Hot Wheels media. I thought Hot Wheels Unleashed 1 and 2 were pretty awesome. This game is nowhere near as good as those, but at least there is some enjoyment to be had here. The racing, it feels okay. The cars feel a bit loose, a little too loose, and the drifting really doesn't feel great, but it's not like it's terrible. It just is okay at best. I will say the track design is pretty whatever in this game. It very much does feel like it was almost user generated or AI generated at times. You can even make your own tracks, and they honestly feel just like the tracks that were officially made for this game. They really aren't anything special, but hey, I get it. It's like you're playing with Hot Wheels toys, you're putting the tracks down, and you're picking your cool little car, which there are plenty of here. There's actually a decent roster of vehicles, nothing like the Unleashed games, but it's fine for what it is. There's characters to choose. I don't know who any of these characters are. I don't care about any of these characters. I just wanted to go fast through the loop-de-loops, and you absolutely get to do that here. There's not a whole lot of content to this. I beat the story mode in like 3 hours. There's a track editor, like I mentioned. There's just random racing, and that's pretty much all there is to this one. There's some boss fights that show up, and they're just pitifully easy. The game in general is just pitifully easy, but again, it is a licensed kids game. I don't really know what I expected here. I'm not going to act like this game is horrible or bad, but I wouldn't really say it was good either. It was just very down the middle. It was very mid. Wouldn't really recommend this one unless you're a small child. So I guess shout out to all the small children watching this video. 6767. Yeah, did I get y'all? Well, if you haven't clicked away or unsubscribed because I'm cringe, let's move on to the next game. Well, from one driving game to the next, what can I say? There's just a lot of arcade racers out here. We have Recreation. I was sent this one by the publisher. I wanted to give it its own video, but to be honest, I was just too busy with everything going on, and so I didn't. So I guess I'll just share my thoughts here. This is the latest arcade racer by THQ Nordic. It was developed by Three Fields Entertainment, which were former Burnout Paradise developers. In this game, oh, it absolutely does feel like Burnout Paradise. It really is. We have Burnout Paradise at home. Like, this game really wants to remind you of Burnout Paradise. And look, I love Burnout Paradise to pieces. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's my favorite Burnout game. It's maybe my favorite racing game ever. Like, I love the shit out of it. So naturally, I was pretty inclined to like this. But I'll be real, this game tries to be Burnout Paradise so hard, and it just feels so derivative of Burnout Paradise that I think the game just kind of lacks its own identity. It looks like Burnout Paradise. It feels like Burnout Paradise. It controls, it handles like Burnout Paradise. It smells, it smells like Burnout Paradise. It tastes like Burnout Paradise. The driving feels amazing. The sense of speed is amazing. The collisions and takedowns are great. The font, the UI, it is Burnout Paradise to a T. This game wants to be Burnout Paradise so hard, and on some levels, it really does succeed, but at the same time, you're reminded that Burnout Paradise was way better than this. The big thing about it is that you get to create things. You get to create your own tracks in the sky, and you get to edit the world really to your heart's content, and everything you put down stays down. It's not temporary here. The game is absolutely massive. This open world is like one of the biggest I've ever seen in a racing game. It's bigger than all the Forzas. It's like 5 times bigger than Burnout Paradise. It's huge, and you get to decide where everything's going to go. But when you start the game, nothing is placed down. You have to place it down yourself. You can join other people's games, and they might have stuff placed down, but when you're just playing by yourself, you gotta make things happen yourself, and I just am not huge on this. See, when you go to a sandbox, there's just sand. It's up to you to kind of make the fun, and I'm not really one of those people. I'm not the most creative. I kind of like the developers to put in all of the crazy track designs, really just do the level design in general. That's just kind of the person I am. When I was playing like Little Big Planet, I wasn't really making my own levels. When I was playing Mod Nation Racers, I wasn't making my own levels. When I was playing Dreams, I wasn't making my own games. I was seeing what other people have done, and what other people have done in Recreation is cool, but it just wasn't really hitting for me. I really would have preferred just some real level design here, because there's pretty much nothing. You're just driving around the countryside, and it is as dull as it gets, not only visually, but when it comes to the open world design itself. Like, Burnout Paradise had Paradise City. There is no city here. There's no buildings here, like, at all. There's just some hills, some tunnels, and that's really it. It's as dull as it gets, and there's tons of events in this game, like hundreds of events. It's crazy, dozens even, but it's just not in these exciting areas. It's not in these exciting locations. Everything is so dull and flat and just generally unexciting. Yes, the racing is fun. Yes, it feels great, and the sense of speed is unreal in this game, but it doesn't really matter when you're just driving through field after field after field. There's tons of collectibles here as well. There's like these shortcuts, there's these billboards, and it's just nowhere near as fun as Burnout Paradise. And you might go, okay, don't compare it to Burnout Paradise. Yeah, I guess it is pretty decent then, but like, it's clear it wants to be Burnout Paradise. And this was very obviously a small indie game. I think they said that there was like 10 developers on this thing. Maybe they bit off more than they can chew. Maybe it was a little too ambitious. I can see what this game wants to be, and I just don't think it's there. I think it's too big, it's a little too ambitious, and it's a little too empty for its own good. There is fun to be had here. The game absolutely has its moments, and I can see plenty of people enjoying this. I did have fun with it. I just wanted more. I really did, and also it was super buggy and janky, and it kind of ran like shit. Good old Unreal Engine 5. This one is a mixed bag for me. I am a little disappointed, but at the same time, it's slightly better than I thought it's just very up and down. This is a good sale game, and I'll leave it at that. So another one that I put a fair amount of time into that's one of the best I've played all month is Ninja Gaiden 4. Now, I love the Ninja Gaiden series, especially 1 and 2. Those are really great games. This new one, it did not disappoint. This is a very solid action game, and it's honestly better than I thought it would be. I've been slacking, I've just been too busy, but I got a ranking video coming soon for all the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. I'll save my full thoughts for that. TLDR, this is a good action game with amazing combat, and everything else isn't very good, but like, that's kind of what you want from a Ninja Gaiden game. The story's whatever, the main character's whatever. I didn't really care. The level design is pretty basic and straightforward. Presentation wise, I think the game is just okay, but where it really matters, the combat, the moment to moment gameplay, it's excellent. It feels really great, it's challenging, all of the combos feel amazing. The new character does actually control well. They nailed the most critical, vital things to the game, and I think it's a success. Is it worth $70? I don't know about that one. That is pretty pricey, but hey, at least it was a lot of fun. Ninja Gaiden video is coming soon, hopefully within the next week or so. I promise it's gonna come. It's gonna come. So there was one more racing game I played this month, and it was the new Fast and Furious game, Arcade Edition. Major shout out to Renaissance PR for this one. I was unironically kinda hyped for this game since it was developed by Raw Thrills, the people who made the cruising game from a few years ago, and I thought that game was amazing. And this game, it looked like to be more of the same. And you know, when it comes to the gameplay, oh yeah, this is absolutely what you would want. It is more of cruising. It is very similar to cruising. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is one of the stupidest racing games I have ever seen. This game is balls to the walls bonkers. It is insane. I mean, just look at this. It's dumb as shit. It is as nonsensical as it gets. The cars are just flying all over the place. There's explosions everywhere. Like, the game just goes crazy. Despite that, it actually feels nice, it controls well, it has a great sense of speed, all of these tracks are memorable, there's a decent selection of cars here. It's actually a really fun time, and I was thinking to myself, man, this is like the best Fast and Furious game ever. And then one thought later, the game ended. Unfortunately, due to the arcade nature of the game, it is as short as an arcade game. You can beat the game in like 45 minutes straight up. You can see everything that it has to see in like an hour. If you want to get a platinum, it's maybe 2 hours. This game unfortunately severely, sorely lacks content. Like, it needed double, triple the amount of content that it has. It's being sold for $30, so pretty budget, and even at $30, I still don't think this is really worth it. I wish there was a lot more to this game. This is one of those games where they're really leaving a lot on the table. Like, there actually is quite a bit of fun to be had with this. Like, I was really enjoying myself, and it's some of the most fun I've had with any racing game all year. And there's been a lot of great racing games, but it's just too damn short. But with it being a Fast and Furious game published by Game Mill, I can tell you it's going to go cheap real fast. This game is going to be $5, $10 within like 6 months. When it's like $5 or $10, I think this is worth getting. Like, it is the stupidest racing game you'll play all year, but it is kind of fun. And it even has local multiplayer, so maybe that'll add something. It's nowhere near as good as the cruising game a few years ago. That game had triple the amount of content that this does, but it is some dumb fun, and sometimes that's all you need. And then the last game that I want to bring up is Keeper. Major shout out to Xbox, appreciate ya. So far, I've been enjoying it, but this is one that I really do got to put some more time into before I give my full thoughts. It's been really cool though. Being a lighthouse is pretty awesome. But yeah, that's it for the month of October. There were plenty of other games that I played for a little bit of time that I didn't bring up on here, like Full Metal Schoolgirl or Power Wash Sim 2, but these were the more notable titles. These were the games that I put a fair amount of time into, sometimes even beat. And while there were some ups and downs, I think for the most part it was a pretty up month. It seems like the rest of the year is going to be a bit more chill. Hopefully I can actually, play some of the other games that came out this year. I really want to go back to Silksong of all games, We'll have to see what happens. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you made it to this part of the video, you have to let me know what you played, or I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I'm going to have a nice, actually not so nice frowny face if you don't tell me. I'm waiting. Come on, clock's ticking. What are you doing? You better be typing it out. I'm getting really fucking impatient here, so video's over. Bye.